How do we choose the best arch support insoles and what features do we look for in the podiatry clinic? Hi guys, it's Kent here and I'm the podiatrist for Doc Pod's Ergonomics, and we've had some questions come in, and one of them was, how do we choose a great arch support insole for our feet to make them more comfortable across the workday? And it's a great question because it's a little bit more complicated than what you think. There's a few things you need to consider. So first of all is, can you actually fit the insole in your shoe? So if you can't fit it in the shoe and it's not comfortable to wear, then it's pointless. So there's a few things we look for when we're fitting an orthotic insole into a shoe. So one is, one of the major common problems we get in the clinic is that it'll be too thick through the heel. So if you see between my finger and thumb there, if it's too thick through the heel, you'll get lots of heel slipping. So we need to make sure that it's cushioned in the heel. So that's why we use the pour-on cushioning position here. It means we can go a thinner material and it still cushions the same amount as a thicker, lower quality material. So that's the first thing. We don't want to have too much heel slipping in the heel because that'll make it more uncomfortable in the shoe and you'll get heel blisters. The other things we look for is it the right length? Like, you want to make sure that if you're choosing an orthotic insole that's off the shelf, you want to make sure there's enough size variations here to actually fit the insole you're taking out of the shoe. And a really common way that we check is we take an insole out of a running shoe and we'll pop it straight on top, and obviously this one's far too big, but we'd match up the same size over the top of our existing running shoe, and that'll mean that the replacement insole will actually sit inside the shoe and it won't slop around too much and it'll be much more comfortable. So fitting the orthotic insole in the shoe is a big problem. So we want to make sure that the top isn't crushed against your foot. So if we put an orthotic insole that's too thick inside the shoe, that will take up too much room and bulk it up too much, and you won't be able to fit your forefoot comfortably in the shoe. And what that means is you'll get all these clawing and retracting toes and pressure across the tops of your toes that can cause blisters and ulcerations and calluses. So we want to avoid that as well. So then we get down to the functional features. What do we actually want the orthotic insole to do? And there's a few things orthotic insoles can do. The most popular one that we get is, we want an arch support orthotic insole to support your arches and rest your feet when you're standing on them. So what that means is, if we can support your feet in a neutral position, it means that your feet will work less across the workday or across the school day, and they'll be more comfortable. So they won't be under as much muscular control to try and maintain the foot's position, and it will basically be the weight will be resting on the bones of the feet, which they're designed to do, and it takes less effort to actually do this. So your feet will be more comfortable and less fatigued across the workday. The other things we look for in an orthotic insole is, does it cushion your foot? So when we're using an off-the-shelf orthotic insole, generally we use a soft, flexible polyurethane device like this one here, this is the Ergonomics Ultra Soft. We want it to support the arch. We want it to cup the heel and keep the foot's natural fatty pad under the heel. But we also want to cushion the foot. So if there's any slight irregularities in your foot shape, they'll actually give into the surface of the orthotic insole a little and make it more comfortable instantly when you put it on your foot. The other things we look for is cushioning positions in the heel and forefoot. These are higher density sections of a higher quality material called pour-on, and this is actually real pour-on in this one. You can actually feel it. It's as cushioning as the polyurethane, but it's a lot harder wearing. So we use this in the heel and forefoot areas on this one. A way to check if your orthotic insoles or your insoles have got real pour-on, you can just get them and push on it. And if it's not soft and just beautifully soft, just like the surrounding polyurethane, chances are it's not real pour-on. So if you can fit the orthotic in your shoe and it can support your foot and cushion your foot, it will generally make your feet very, very comfortable. The last thing we look for, and it's not really a functional feature of the Ergonomics Ultra Soft here, but it's got an antimicrobial treatment on the upper that's actually embedded into the yarn of this fabric on the top, and it helps to limit bacterial growth. So you'll just get less foot odor and there'll be less bacterial growth on the top of the foot, so there'll be a cleaner orthotic for the longer term. It doesn't matter what you do. If you wear a barefoot against this or any shoe, it will smell, but because this one's treated with Ultra Fresh, it will actually grow less bacteria on the surface of that. So they're the things we look for in an off-the-shelf orthotic innersole. I hope this has been helpful, but if you can support and cushion your feet, fit them in the shoe and keep your feet clean, they'll be much happier feet.